You are now listening to ReligionWinked TV's podcast.
All day long.
Where you can get all your spirituality for sure. Shalom, y'all, and welcome back to my channel, y'all. I am so excited to be giving you some afternoon's delight. It is November 22nd, 2021, and y'all, there is a lot going on in the news. Now, y'all know I've been giving y'all that Bible tea, right? But prison officials say inmate is killed in an apparent attack in the cell, okay? You know when they write their headings, they don't use proper titles. So prison officials, inmate killed in apparent attack in cell. So the authorities say an inmate at Virginia prison is dead after another prisoner apparently attacked him in the cell. Now, this is by the Associated Press. It's November 21st, 2021. Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Inmate is supposed to be an inmate at a Virginia prison died Saturday after another prisoner apparently attacked him in a cell, authorities say. The Virginia Department of Corrections said in a news release that the 47-year-old inmate at Wallens Ridge State Prison was pronounced dead at Lonesome Pine Hospital in Big Stone Gap. The inmate who was serving multiple life sentences, The inmate who died was serving multiple life sentences for sex crimes, including rape, the news release says. The inmate suspected of killing him is serving a life sentence for murder, according to the Corrections Department. Their names weren't immediately released. No charges were immediately reported. So I'm going to click on this, and there is no more to the story. I hate when they say click here to read the rest of the story, right? So their names have not been announced. All right, so let's look at this case here. We have two inmates in the cell. They're down in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. One inmate was charged and arrested for the crimes of sex crimes. We don't know, against children, adults, male, female, including rape. The other is murder. So those are some very heavy crimes, that they're in there for. And, prison can get overpopulated, crowded, people getting sick, the whole pandemic. It's just a mess, right? And, I don't know, some people just get fed up. Some people are demonic. Some people just like taking life. What do you think happened in this situation? I really don't know. And if you have any thoughts about this, please let me know down below, because I am searching for the rest of the story and it is not there. So let's go ahead and check on something else. So now we are in my neck of the woods. News 10, ABC. Police, Albany man arrested after loaded gun found during traffic stop. Let's get into it, okay? So off the bat, this happened in Colony, New York. An Albany man was arrested after a traffic stop in Colony. The Colony Police Department said Jerry Cooley, 41, was found to be in possession of a loaded gun. Wow. All right, so, and I'll try to insert a picture of him here. It goes on to say, on November 20th, around 1 a.m., police pulled the vehicle over on Central Avenue near I-87 after witnessing a traffic violation. After an investigation, an officer searched the vehicle with permission from the driver. Cooley was a passenger in the vehicle. Police said a loaded 40 caliber Taurus handgun was found concealed under his seat. After further investigation, police found Cooley to be in possession of the weapon. He did not have a permit for the gun, okay? Cooley was charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, which is a felony. He was arraigned in the town of Colony Justice Court and sent to the Albany County Correctional Facility, where he is being held pending bail. This is an active and ongoing investigation. If you have any information about the case, you can contact the Colony Police Department Investigations Division at 518-783-2754. All right, and with that being said, I have local viewers. If you guys know anything about this, like, I mind's my business, but it is what it is. You guys can call it. Now, this man looked very familiar. I'm going to have to go ahead and show y'all this right here. This man, this is him. So if anybody have any idea about this man, go ahead and let me know. All right? So, what we have with the case is, on November 20th around 1 a.m., police make a traffic stop, right? So this guy, Cooley, he is a passenger. He is not the said driver. So what goes on here is that, they talk to the driver. The driver say, "Hey, it ain't my gun." They talk to the driver, and the driver say, "Hey, that's not mine." Cooley, he admits to being in possession of the weapon. He did not have a permit for the gun, y'all. So they arrested him. They sent him to jail. And I will try to keep you guys updated on these things. They have to come down my timeline for me to basically do that. Like, y'all know, it's a lot when all these news reports coming down your timeline. But we found one on Jerry Cooley, 41 years old, was found to be in possession of a loaded handgun. On November 20th, around 1 a.m., he was pulled over on Central Ave near I-87. Witnessing a traffic violation is the reason he was pulled over. You think he shift lanes without putting on his blinker? You think he ran? And what did he do? Now, this is what I want to ask people out there. I said, when you're dirty, don't be out there doing dirt. Now, I don't encourage people to be dirty, but being dirty is the way some people survive out here and live. And I ain't knocking nobody hustle. That's between them and God, right? But basically, if you out here carrying a handgun, and I'm going to say it, don't be out here having no traffic violations. And don't be out here with an unlicensed gun at that. I mean, for the love of God, at least get it registered, get a permit, get something. But that's the way in the life of the streets. Anybody know about it? Let me know what you think about this whole entire situation with Mr. Cooley being in the county jail for a possession of a handgun, and he doesn't have permits or should be in possession of it, right? All right, so let's move on and see if we can come up with something else here, y'all. All right, so the other day, there was a homicide here in the city over by Kentucky Fried Chicken, I do believe. Let's see what it says. That I'm not lying. A man shot to death in Albany near KFC. This was on November 18th, 2021 by Steve Hughes. And it was updated on November 18th, okay? A 36-year-old man here in the city of Albany was shot and killed outside the KFC restaurant on Delaware Avenue Thursday, city police said. Now, police did not immediately release his name or the circumstances around the shooting, including whether the incident may have originated inside the restaurant. It is the city's 17th homicide this year, which equals the number of homicides in Albany during all of 2021. So I don't know about your city, but my city is definitely demonic and out here taking life, okay? And I told you the only person that kills, steal, and destroy, literally kill, is the devil, right? The enemy, the jinn, the wicked energy flowing through this earth. So I just want to share that with you. Now back to the original story that didn't happen at KFC, okay? Albany homicide suspect appearing before the judge. So the man arrested in connection with a homicide in Albany is going before a judge in Albany court on Monday. Sean Pacheco, 39, from Waterville, is accused of shooting and killing John Welcome, 35, of Albany. Wait, that sounds familiar, Mr. Welcome. Police say it happened around 2 a.m. Sunday on Central Avenue. So, is this no? This is two step. No, there's another case that happened by Kentucky Fried Chicken, and there's a case that happened by my job. A 16-year-old.
Well, a 16-year-old is being charged now with shooting a fellow teen and then accidentally shooting himself. This was during some kind of dispute between these two teens. Happened Saturday night at a home on North Allen Street, just a few blocks from Albany High School. Teenage suspect was found in a home, gunshot wound to the leg. The 17-year-old victim found a few houses down with 2 gunshot wounds. Both teens were treated at Albany Med. Their injuries non-life threatening, thankfully. The 16-year-old is being charged now with attempted murder.
Now, what I could do for you guys is maybe tomorrow, if I see the neighbor in the one particular building who said that her other neighbor brought the victim, the actual shooter who accidentally shot himself, inside of their hallway, causing all kind of police chaos and everything. And she actually said it was her granddaughter lived with her, and the woman was telling me that it is just too much. It was stressing her and her granddaughter out. Okay, so with that being said, I'll try to see if I can get Miss T to come live with me, maybe tomorrow morning or maybe next week. We'll see. And if she can tell the story of this account right here with the 16-year-old, because after all, one of her crazy neighbors drugged the young man inside of her building, and she came outside and told me exactly what happened. Not to mention, she said somebody else in her building beat the living crap out of their wife. I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on in her building. Maybe we can get some exclusive tea, all right, y'all? And with that being said, let's carry on. Shot someone. Pacheco is charged with murder and criminal possession of a weapon. Wow, he killed the man? And watch, it said read full story. I'm hitting on it. Nope. No more, no more, no more, no more, no more. They are a hot mess. So we have here in the city of Albany, according to the news channel 13, we have a homicide suspect appearing before the judge. Let's listen, y'all.
The man arrested in connection with a homicide in Albany is going before a judge in Albany City Court today. 39-year-old Sean Pacheco from Waterville is accused of shooting and killing a 35-year-old John Welcome of Albany. Police say this happened around 2 o'clock Sunday morning on Central Avenue. Pacheco is charged with murder and criminal possession of a weapon.
All right, so that's the audio on that. Not really much. Let's go ahead and click on arrest made. Let's see. Arrest made in connection to Central Ave homicide. Albany police are reporting that 39-year-old Waterville man has been charged in connection with a homicide on Central Avenue. Police arrest Sean Pacheco Sunday afternoon following their investigation. Early the same morning, officers responded to the 300 block of Central Avenue between North Lake and Quail Street for reports of gunfire. Officers found 35-year-old John Welcome outside with gunshots to his torso. He later died from his injuries at Albany Medical Center. Now, I do know there's a tavern over on those streets over there somewhere where people usually hang out. So reports go on to say Pacheco was taken into custody by Albany detectives and is being charged with murder and criminal possession of a weapon. He is scheduled to arraign in Albany City Criminal Court on Monday. All right, let's see what else we got, y'all. Some pharmacy pays after 2 Albany doctors prescribed ketamine to substance abuse patients. Oh boy, this one's gonna be good, y'all. Because, there's a law going around. Like, when you go to the doctors, if you have a history of medication abuse, they're supposed to call this 1-800 number and all this other stuff. Let's see what happens. News Channel 10 report. It says a Latham pharmacy pays after 2 Albany doctors prescribed ketamine to substance abuse patients. Ketamine. Do you mind if I go look that up real quick? Ketamine. Ketamine? Yeah, ketamine. How it works and helps severe depression. Oh, ketamine is for anxiety, depression, and it probably gives off a bad side effects. Ketamine, Alcohol and Drug Foundation. So there's some, y'all can read up on it. The ketamine cure. Uses, effects, risk, and warnings. There might be some contradiction or adverse reaction when used in people with drug addictions and drug abuse. Let's see what happens. 2 Latham pharmacies pays. Yeah, I bet they had to pay a hefty sum, right? How much you think they had to pay? Put it down in the comments if you don't mind. After 2 Albany doctors prescribed ketamine to a substance abuse patients in the city of Albany, New York, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Fallon Wellness Pharmacy, LLC, Fallon of Latham, has agreed to pay $7,150 to resolve allegations that it improperly filled intranasal ketamine prescriptions that raised red flags, end quote. Well, red flags was in quote. Fallon admitted to giving ketamine to patients who were being treated by 2 Albany area doctors. Ketamine is a Schedule III controlled substance that causes sedative and dissociative effects. And someone with depression or any mental health issue would indeed have some kind of counteraction here, reaction here with the mixing of the 2 drugs, right? So it says that causes sedative and dissociative effects. Now we know there's a dissociative mental health category, right? It is used for medical purposes such as surgical anesthesia and other off-label uses, but it is also abused recreationally as a party drug, and this is why people are probably going to the doctors asking for this. There's a lot of medical prescribed drugs that people use as these Molly cocktails and pill prescription, like a trail mix of pills. And so, yeah, people are going to the doctors, y'all, just to get high. Scary. Beginning in 2018, 2 physicians in Albany, Dr. Scott McMahon and Dr. Larry Bruni, began prescribing intranasal ketamine for substance abuse patients to self-administer intranasally. Now, if they're on heroin and have an OD, you have to give the Narcan or the naloxone to them through the nose as well, right? I'm trying to tell you, man. It's a recipe for death. Fallon filed many of these ketamine prescriptions to these patients suffering from substance abuse issues. In 2019, the DEA arrested McMahon for crimes associated with his prescribing practices. McMahon, he might be related to WWE, WWF out there. For crimes associated with his prescribing practices, Fallon and these doctors will just write these prescriptions because they get paid for that. They get reimbursed. You know. So these doctors could be shiesty out here as well, right? Let me know what you think about doctors and just writing prescriptions for people who say they need them, right? Fallon personnel knew of McMahon's arrest and were aware that about 1/3 of McMahon's catatonic patients promptly migrate to Brunei after McMahon's arrest. Oh, so they may be working in cahoots. Doctors do that. I mean, it's good when you have a primary who says, all right, I want you to go see this specialist. And they're, other than being a good referral, that's it. That's all. Nothing else, right? But then you have some other doctors like, oh, they're in a network. When you go in, if you got bone and joint, oh, we want you to go over here. When you go over there, they got a doctor they deal with, and they're all in like this doctor portal, right? Referring one another to each other and stuff like that, so they can keep the money in the bed, the money in their circle, right? You'll have like a dermatologist, you might have a rheumatologist, you might have a ankle and bone and joint, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, or your primary. Like I said, I have a very good primary, and he works with awesome specialists, okay? So let's see. These same patients were also suffering from a substance abuse disorder, which would have been apparent to Fallon's personnel had they checked the PMP data. Fallon continued filing the ketamine prescriptions written by Brunei until December 2020, when the United States Attorney's Office made an inquiry. The settlement resolves allegations that by continuing to fill the ketamine prescriptions after McMahon's arrest and not checking the PMP, Fallon ignored red flags, end quote. That was red flags, end quote. You know, the triggers like, oh, wait a minute, something ain't right. And failed to comply with its correspondence duty under 21 CFR 1306.04 to fill only prescriptions that are written from a legitimate medical purpose within the usual course of the professional practice. These guys out here just abusing all kind of power, right? So it goes on to say, y'all, it says both McMahon and Brunei admitted to writing intranasal ketamine prescriptions that lacked a legitimate medical purpose. No reason at all. Just to make money off of these people, causing them further trauma and abuse with their own drug addictions and struggles, right? Like, come on now. These people are absolutely crazy for doing this nonsense. But it's the people on the drugs that know how to work the system. I always say, a homeless person don't know how to get money to go out there and pay their rent or be self-sufficient, but they know how to get money to get high and eat and stuff, you know? Drug addicts don't know how to get money to, take care of themselves, but they sure get money to get high. So it's within them. Listen, I be saying to the ones around here, your butt know if you out here hustling, but they don't apply it. Their life is in the streets, so they'll never take that notion. Some of us did, some of us do, some of us will ever not want to be in the streets, right? But some people love being in the streets. But even being in the street, they know how to hustle up the things they need. And they're smart about it. And they know how to play every organization, every agency, every welfare department. They know the games of the systems, and they know how to get through it. You know what I'm saying? I sat back and watched them, so absolutely. So it goes on to say, this is the kicker here. They admitted to writing these prescriptions, y'all. And then it goes on to say McMahon was also sentenced to 38 months in prison for unlawful drug distribution and aggravated identity theft. See, and they want us to trust these doctors during this pandemic. All right, hey. All right, so it goes on to say the announcement was made by United States Attorney Carla B. Friedman and Acting Special Agent in Charge Keith Kruskal, U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, betterly known as the DEA. Quote, Fallon Wellness Pharmacy has accepted responsibility for dispensing ketamine prescriptions that that never should have been written or filled, said Carla Freeman, United States Attorney for the Northern District of New York. Quote, whenever a pharmacy receives a suspicious prescription, it must consult the New York State Internet System for Tracking Over Prescribing. It's called iStop, Prescription Monitoring Program. And I told you, it's a 1-800 number. I've seen it. It's all around. These people go to the dentist to get pain medicine. They go to the emergency room to get a good high. Oh my God. Procedure after procedure to get the pain medicine to get a good high. Ah, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Thank God that these people got caught. They deserve everything they got. Not only are they being crooked with their, what is it called? Their oath? Hippocratical oath, but they're also putting people in jeopardy never to get off of drugs if that is their intention. Most people want to get off drugs, don't want to be on drugs, but when they find an easy outlet like these two damn doctors who just want to write prescriptions for no reason at all, that's probably why we have the amount of drug addicts in the world that we do. It's the doctors in writing these prescriptions that's pushing the drugs off on the people. And y'all out here trying to look for the lower class man that's selling a bag of marijuana for $20, $30. When these people are getting millions off of real drug issues and real drug abuse problems. All right. Guys, it just says numerous red flags found by investigators indicated that this pharmacy was involved in illegitimate and reckless dispensing. I applaud the investigators and our law enforcement partners on this investigation. And these are the kind of investigations of the police I will forever support when they taking down big pharmaceutical companies in America, killing, stealing, and destroying God's people that's already destroyed out on the drugs and turned out in this world. But them other police that's just out here kicking in people. A woman told me yesterday, the police kicked in her door 4 times, mistaking her house for, you know what, that I can't get with. But this kind of police working activity, I can get with and support. So that's that. This case was investigated by the DEA Albany District Division, the division group. Assistant United States Attorney Christopher R. Morin represented the United States in this matter. All right, so that's that, guys. Let me know what you think about Big Pharma. What do you think about Big Pharma? Oh, they have a new restaurant. Iron Gate Cafe reacts to being ranked top Albany breakfast spot. All right, so TripAdvisor recently named them top ranked breakfast spot in Albany. Established in 2004, Iron Gate Cafe has been a staple in the community for more than 15 years. Quote, it feels great, said Kevin Dively, the owner. Quote, I have the hardest working crew in Albany, and it made us really feel good. All the work is paying off. Kudos to you. All right. Oh, boy, these ranked most top dangerous dogs, they look like DMX. You should see these pit bulls, baby. I might have to let y'all see these right here, honey. Hold on. Ooh, look at these pit bulls. take They look like Nelly. They look like triplets of Nelly. Wait a minute. They look like triplets of Nelly. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, so on YouTube News, Ashley says so. She says she was down in the Carolinas and we had seen video of her singing with her sisters and they were all just sitting around the table having a great time, y'all. Ashley says so on YouTube. They robbed her down in Carolina. They broke into her car, y'all. So if you support Ashley Say So, please go over there and show my girl some love, all right? She wasn't feeling too good. She came on yesterday saying that they got her. You know what I'm saying? And there's a video over on her channel. Ashley Says So. One word, okay? Oh, so. All right, what else we got? We want some headlines now. Let's go into some headlines. Headlines: as Thanksgiving approaches, U.S. virus cases tick upward once more. Of course, because they know everybody's going to be gathering for the holidays. Forsaking not the assemblies. Fellowship, forsake not the fellowship of the assemblies, right? Everybody gonna be breaking bread. Why not increase a substance in the land that can off everybody at one time, right? So y'all be careful out there. I wouldn't trust this country at all. There's a lot of things going on. You know, with just the holiday, the travel, the meaning behind the holiday. Some people are still on it with that and just encouraging people not to be out here celebrating the enemy's holidays. I know it's a good feel. You can honey, I can't tell y'all what to do. America and the people here have been doing these traditions for hundreds of years. It's not easy for y'all to just stop doing what you was doing and what you used to doing. But until you be able to break those generational curses in your life, they're going to carry on with us, okay? So I do the best to break mine. Sean Parnell ends Pennsylvania Senate campaign after wife granted sole legal custody of their children. So you got some people out on the campaign trail going through child support cases and things of that nature. January 6th panel tells court and urgently needs Trump records. Trump, you know, is under investigation. Target to keep stores closed on Thanksgiving for good. Target said, I done learned my lesson. I ain't trying to get a lawsuit. Don't want a lawsuit. Ain't trying to have nobody in my Target know the truth. Ain't no reason to be having your dang on doors open for Thanksgiving. I want to be home eating with my family too. All right, view back up. I want back up, whatever the options are. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. We are going. Oh, there was a live drug bust. Police alert nearby. Okay. Kamala Harris to announce $1.5 billion investment in healthcare workforce. More than 90% of federal workers got the C-19 vacuum before deadline. Okay, they still pushing the deadline. And I have audio on my video today. I was live. My grandchildren came in and said they got their vacuum. They've been vacuumed. And I told them that don't mean we're not family. It's not going to cause any division because I haven't got vacuumed yet and don't probably plan on it. That doesn't stop me from loving my family who choose to. And one right here, and I've been trying to figure it out. Remember, I downsized a lot. Oh shit, hold on, y'all. That's the family. Y'all. Hey. You got Vito? No, I got. Oh, you did. It's okay. You alright? Yes, it's safe, but now it's in the closet in there. I'm on live, y'all. Look look at you. Say, hey, Lyle, Murray, come say hi. Probably come say hi right here. You got the day? Oh, you got yours too? I got a shot in my leg today. I was saying, I hope they didn't give me the vaccine. give me a hug. Say hi, you two. Give me a hug. Ooh, that sound good. You been practicing? Yes. You got yours now? I'll get mine. All right. No problem. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We still family. I love you. I don't mean nothing because I ain't getting nothing. That's what I said. It was a report. The lady went and got a flu shot, and basically they gave her a vacuum. Yeah, girl. I said, I hope my doctor ain't do that to me today, but I feel fine. And that doesn't mean they got to treat me like I got it because I didn't get the vacuum. Nah, they don't treat me like that. But it's good because now I still wear a mask. They're vaccinated, so hell. And we all know that people have got vacuums, and we ain't even going to talk about it because my children are healed by his stripes, and they are going to overcome all of this, all right? So how the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse and tragedy in Kenosha captured toxic American politics. What do y'all think about that? Was it a not guilty? So we got WAUKESHA Christmas parade. Probe launched into why suspect was freed from jail on inappropriately low bail. Now, what I know about a little bit of this is, this man may have been dealing with mental health. I don't know much about WAUKESHA, but I can do it if you guys want to talk about it. Let's see. I could have clicked on it. Let me click on it, see if it come back up. Oh, it's devastating how fentanyl is unfolding as one of America's greatest tragedies. People, fentanyl is out here. Be careful. They said they putting it in the weed. They putting it everywhere, y'all. We just seen a video the other day where a 9 or 10-year-old girl died with fentanyl, y'all. And her dad don't know how she got it. And I don't think he was charged in it or anything. But these children are getting their hands on fentanyl. All right, so WAUKESHA Christmas parade probe launched into why suspect was free from jail on inappropriately low bail. All right, so something happened in WAUKESHA. This man was let out on a low bail, and we're going to find out why, okay? So, an investigation has been launched into how the suspect in the WAUKESHA parade tragedy had been released from jail on inappropriately low bail over in another incident. Now listen, they're saying that maybe he was in jail on another charge or got arrested for something petty or whatever at one point. As officials charged 39-year-old Darrell Brooks with 5 counts of intentional homicide over the incident that left 5 people dead and injured around 40. It was revealed he had been released from jail 10 days earlier. If he would have stayed, would this have happened?
The Waukesha Christmas parade was taking place when a red SUV drove through the barricades westbound, heading down Main Street. The vehicle struck more than 20 individuals. Some of the individuals were children, and there were some fatalities as a result of this incident. An officer did discharge his weapon at the suspect vehicle to try to stop the vehicle. No bystanders were injured as a result of the weapon discharge.
I mean, we don't know. We just don't know. Reports said Mr. Brooks Jr. had been charged 3 times in less than 2 years with recklessly endangering the safety of others. Most recently on November 5th. And that's Astroworld. That November 5th. I told you Kiana Burns murdered her husband, Ronell Burns, on November 6th. Demon time, that energy was still in the land and probably still is now. The rippling effect of it, right? So that was part of a domestic abuse incident for which he was also charged with resisting or obstructing an officer and had been released on bail of just $1,000. They're saying maybe if his bail was a little higher, if he'd have stayed in a couple days longer, this whole WAUKESHA incident wouldn't happen. I'm not going to form any opinion here yet because I did hear Vicky Dillard report on it, and she was saying it was mental health, and I don't know yet. We'll see. Like, people are going to protect the black community to an extent, right, wrong, or indifferent. Other people are going to, like, listen, I say, how does the police drop the ball here? I will comment there. Sometimes they let them out too soon. Don't keep them long enough. Don't catch them. In the Mia McConnell's case, they had the suspect in their presence. Let him go. She ended up dead. He ended up dead. And the police had the nerve to say in that video, well, she was probably dead already when we let him go. That's not the point. You could have found something to tie him to that case, to hold on to him, to make him pay for his crime. So on Monday, as Joe Biden said, he was praying for the community impacted by the, quote, horrific act of violence, as if he didn't spearhead the 1994 crime bill against American youth, right? Officials from the Milwaukee County District's Attorney's Office said they were investigating the bail recommendations from previous crimes said to involve Brooks. Again, this brother seems to have had a history of being in trouble and causing harm to other people. Maybe they should have given him the mental help he needed, or maybe they should not have been. Sometimes you can't be lenient with people with mental health, because as we see on YouTube, they'll be out here beefing and fighting, and then when it get too hard, I got bipolar, wanting people, I got this, I got cancer. Why is you out here in all this nonsense if you're sick or if you got these things or claim to have these things? But they'll use it as to get sympathy, clout, payola, and all this other stuff from people. Why not make people with mental health serve their time? It's impossible because in prison they're not going to be treated fairly. But sometimes people need to, we're too lenient. I don't know. Are we too lenient in this society? Feeling sorry for different categories and labels. We have LGBT over here. That's very a sensitive subject. We have the mental health, out committing crimes, doing drugs, and not adding real much value to the community, making people's lives a living hell. How do we find the balance here, right? So it goes on to say the bail was recommended based off other cases. It added, this office is currently conducting an internal review of the decision that to make the recent bail recommendation. So let's see. This sounds like the parade.
Next thing I heard were screams and turned my head and saw the car come and plow into the van that was just past my balcony at that point. And I stood along my way, rolled over a little bit, and then continued down the road to my pizza park, which is behind the block, and then kept going. It didn't stop.
So guys, if you know anything about Wisconsin, this is the route that the parade took, and also that Mr. Darrell Brooks took. So if you're familiar with that area, this is the route that was taken. All right, y'all. So on Monday, police said that Mr. Brooks would be charged with 5 degrees of intentional homicide over the incident in WAUKESHA, roughly 20 miles west of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Turn it off. They also said they did not consider the incident to be an act of terrorism, rather that the suspect had been involved in a domestic dispute or disturbance prior to being filmed crashing into the
through barricades into a crowd of people that was celebrating the WAUKESHA Christmas parade, which resulted in killing 5 individuals and injuring 48 additional individuals. I just received information that 2 of the 48 are children and they're in critical condition. We have information that the suspect prior to the incident was involved in a domestic disturbance, which was just minutes prior, and the suspect left that scene just prior to our arrival to that domestic disturbance. When the suspect was driving through into the crowd, one officer did discharge his firearm and fired shots at the suspect to stop the threat, but due to the amount of people, had to stop and fire did not fire any other additional shots. The officer is on administrative leave as part of the department protocol. No one was injured as a result of the officer firing his discharging his firearm. The subject was taken into custody a short distance from the scene, and we are confident he acted alone. There is no evidence that this is a terrorist incident. Due to the wind yesterday, there was a power outage downtown WAUKESHA to further complicate our emergency response. I want to identify the victims that we know of at this time. And I say this with great sorrow. Virginia Sorensen, 79-year-old female. Leanna Owens, 71-year-old female. Tamara Durand, 52-year-old female. Jane Kulich, 52-year-old female. Wilhelm Hospital, 81-year-old male. The suspect involved in this tragic incident is identified as Darrell E. Brooks, male, 39 years of age, who is a resident of the city of Milwaukee. At this time, the WAUKESHA Police Department is referring 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide with additional charges based on the investigation, but those will come in time. There are many roads in the downtown area were closed as investigators worked through the crime scene. Those roads have since been opened. I'll say this, minutes after the incident occurred, I responded to the scene, and what I saw out of chaos and tragedy was heroes. First responders and the community coming together and working together on triaging victims, the fire department working in partnership with the fire department, getting these victims to the hospital. Fire department transported multiple victims. Chief Howard will talk about that. Officers picked up victims and put them in a squad and rushed them to the hospital. And citizens also picked up victims and rushed them to the hospital. There's also off-duty law enforcement, fire, and EMS personnel that were attending this event who immediately got involved and took part in saving lives.
parade. Andrew Havranek, the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, said it is investigating the bail recommendations from previous crimes for Darrell Brooks. He is in custody accused of driving his SUV through the WAUKESHA Christmas parade that killed at least 5 and injured 40. And as you can see, they have something from the, I don't know what that is, y'all. Try to get you to see it. I don't know. That light ain't doing too much. But there's something here from the Milwaukee County. Police said 4 women aged 52 to 79 and an 81-year-old man were killed. Members of the Dancing Grannies Club were among the victims. Was an employee of Citizen Bank's officer said. Citizen Bank officer said. We have information that the suspect prior to this was involved in a domestic disturbance and the suspect left the scene just prior to our arrival at the scene, said Waukesha Police Chief Daniel Thompson. Quote, this was not a terrorist event. And they probably know this guy and probably know he have mental health, you know what I'm saying? And basically said, nah, we got to deal with this one a little differently. What do you guys think about the Waukesha Christmas Parade SUV of Darrell Brooks being driven into the crowd and killing 4 people? 5 people, 4 women ages 52 to 79, and an 81-year-old man was killed. Oh, and members of the Granny Dancing Club. These were grannies out there dancing, y'all. All right, so y'all let me know what you think about that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video podcast. And you all guys have a great day. God bless you. I will keep my eye on the Waukesha Christmas Parade. That's probably about the only one I may do an update on, because I really want to see if they're going to go at him with mental health, or if they're going to give him a lengthy charge, or what the bail consideration would be. We found out it was $1,000. And again, for the amount of other crimes, now I know you can't be persecuted twice, double jeopardy. But when it comes to you having a history of crimes in America, can they begin to set your bail based off of those other crimes and make it kind of high or something like that, forcing people to do their time? Y'all know how it go. When you can't make bail, you sit in jail, right? Possibly it's no place for anybody to be, but I had time to think when I was there. Let me just say that, okay? Some people want it and some people don't. But when it's coupled with mental health, that's where it becomes a little tricky. This guy probably just snapped, had a disturbance, and took it out on the people at the parade. Does it make it right? Not when you have 5 lives lost, guys. Somebody has to pay for that. I said, hell, if we got to pay for our sins in Christianity, the devil, it's about time the devil start paying for his sins in this world, okay? And it's up to us to probably make it happen, because God said he rested on the 7th day. And when he rested, I believe we're supposed to take up the mantle and work this thing in the earth like God would have worked it. But instead, somewhere there's a breach. All this nonsense, chaotic, demonic energy is in the land. Who's going to make this energy pay for the sins that it keeps committing against innocent people? Like, who's going to make them pay for the death of the Messiah? An innocent man got killed on a cross, and the Romans did it. Do they pay for their sins? No. They go on to be the leaders of the religion world, in the faith and all of that. How is that so? So we got a long way to go in America. A long way. A long way to go in America, y'all. But here's a tweet from Waukesha. Waukesha. I'll see if I can get you a better look at it now. Let me see. No, it ain't coming out no better, y'all. Anyway. Anyway. Child. So, Cat Mom says bail should not be an option. High bail fees discriminate against the poor. The whole bail system needs to be overhauled. All right? Wow. Okay, let me see. I'm not gonna go no further, y'all. Y'all know what it is. We got this black man named Darrell Brooks. He's had an incident with a domestic disturbance. Police went to go to the scene where he was. He fled. They chased. He went into the crowd. 5 people lost their lives. Do the police sometimes harass people to the point where they do things like this? Remember where the police, I was telling you in that one video, where the police was ramming downstate New York? They was ramming somewhere down around Palisades Parkway down there. They was ramming the back of the car for the man to step over. They pepper sprayed the man. He fled because the police had no reason to really pull him over. He had his kids in the car. He take off. The police get behind him, running, racing, going down fast, ramming into the back of his car until he flips over and his 11-year-old daughter end up dying. Remember that story I told y'all? All right, so police have a way of getting behind people they think are criminals and adding fuel to this fire. Adding fuel to some of the tragedy that's going on in this world, right? All right, so with that being said, shalom, everybody. God bless you and have a great day. I will talk to you on the next live, upload, and or premiere. And I hope you guys like this podcast style news, after news, delight, honey. And I will bring you a lot more, okay? Because there's a lot going on. And I just want to keep you abreast of some of the things that may impact your world, people around you. This channel, I would like to hear your input on things. We talked about Jerry Cooley getting shot with the gun. We talked about Prikeko gunning down a man, right? We talked about a man losing his life in prison down in Virginia, having sex crimes and rapes. That's the one who lost his life. And the other one being a murderer. Kind of comfortable. You see how prison aren't really rehabilitating people? Kind of comfortable killing someone because he's in prison for it and then take a life while he's in there. It's not out of his system, y'all. Gotta get these people some help. Hell, they told us in Christianity that Jesus is the savior of the world. Why he ain't? I know it's a free choice and you can't force him on everybody, but that's if he the savior of the world and can fix it all, and won't he do it? And you are now listening to ReligionWinked TV's podcast.
All day long.
Where you can get all your spirituality for sure. That's who the American government need to be pushing off on the government. Need to be pushing off on the masses. And I am being a little facetious here because they'll tell you get vacuumed and get this, but the vacuum don't guarantee everlasting life. Jesus do. So why they ain't pushing people in the direction of Jesus? I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying. So if y'all like videos like this, and we talked about WAUKESHA, we mentioned Kamala Harris, and there was a bunch of other news broadcasting. If you have any opinion, any commentary, or would like for me to go in depth further, child, let me know. Because you know what? I realize I'm pretty good at this over here, y'all. I could give it to you any way you want to, any way you want it. I could give it to you spiritually, and I could give it to you naturally. But today I'm giving you afternoon's delight that you can use with Dru, okay? And with that being said, shalom, everybody. Thank you for listening to ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ear stays. Yes. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Peace.